So this is an exercise I call clock jumps, and it's a way to start reintroducing multi-directional jumping and landing into your rehab. And it could be useful for anyone that has multi-directional sports. I think it'd be useful for runners as well, even though you're jumping, which is more of a, a controlled land, and a controlled land is a little bit more in front of you. It's good to have that variability. Maybe if you're doing trail running, that you hit an unstable surface and you have some awareness to be able to react and then push yourself off. So it's quite simple. You just stand in the middle of a clock, and in front of me is 12 and behind me is 6. I've got 3 over here and 9 here. And I just choose a leg, predetermined, or maybe you've got an app that can generate numbers randomly. And I say, okay, right leg, 2 o'clock. And so I jump over to 2, and I try and stick my landing. I try and keep my balance. You might find that you're breath holding a little bit. Try and have an ease of breath or talking, making sound. Maybe you try and go 7 o'clock left foot. And so you're back into here and you're like, whoa, it's a bit wobbly. Try and get your balance. And we're not saying that you have to create like a rigidity around center, but what we want is that you can control if you leave center. So this idea of kind of neutral plays into this as well. It's more of a zone, and it's how well you're controlling yourself within that zone. And as you move in and out of that zone based on your own generated movement, or maybe other people's movement. Say you go out for a header during football, or maybe up in rugby and you're grabbing a ball, or basketball and you're grabbing a ball and someone knocks you, and all of a sudden your torso's over here and your feet are over there. Are you aware of that fast enough that you can bring your torso back over your foot and land? Or maybe you opt not to land and you bring the legs further away from you and you land on your side instead of being in this kind of position. So choose a number, choose a leg, spend a few minutes, find the numbers or the direction that's challenging for you. So direction could be, maybe I go right foot to 7 o'clock, but I find that when I go left turn, I'm solid, but when I go to the right and turn, I lose my balance. Find the ones that are challenging, work on those, 5, 10 reps, and no perfect time, but a good time is before you play during a warm-up. This kind of stuff increases your neuromuscular control, which means that it increases your awareness of where you are in space. And we kind of talked about that already with this idea that, am I aware that I'm going to land like this, and can I change that landing? A couple times a week. If you're doing lots and lots and lots of jumps, have big long rest periods. If you're having just little sub-maximal jumps, just a few here and there, don't worry too much about the rest period. Just go for quality. Don't go necessarily for speed yet. Just good, solid landing. You're just like, yep, got it. That kind of thing. If you've got any questions, send a little comment down. But otherwise, play around with those. They might be more towards your like sort of mid to late stage rehab. As you get towards the late, a little bit more power, a little bit more distance, a little bit more multitasking. Maybe there's a ball involved. Kind of bringing in a little more complexity. But for now, just focus on getting that solid.